Hey guys, tightrope here bringing you a 2v2 today. We are on Eindhoven country. Today spawning in the south. We have Moth playing as Soviets with NKVD, Reserve Army and Advanced Warfare teaming up with him. FinallySomeRest, who has Reserve Army, Lend-Lease and Urban Defense. On the north we have Catboy Supremacy with Jaeger Infantry, Mechanized Assault and Lightning War. And finally Goblin Girl Superiority with OKW immediately going for Grand Defensive. Coming that up with a Kubel. So Patreon backer submitted game. Allies, I guess it's replaced from a while ago. Their rank is now hidden. They are a ranged team. One of the two players had a rank of 60 in OKW random 2s. Was all I could really find out about these guys as a team. And back the other way, the Axis currently rank 350. So a penal start here. But finally some rest could make it quite tough for this Kubelwagen. No M3A1 in the build yet. Now Goblin Girl transferring into has a few Fusiliers. Typically, you know, you want 2 Volkswagen units before you start to do that, but in this case, up against tier 1, you know, maybe wants 2 squads with anti-tank grenades early on to help keep the Kubel alive against a potential M3 push. So it's understandable. Guys caught out there though, trying to go onto the cutoff. Looks like the Kubel's going to go back to base, wait for them there maybe for some repairs. And it looks like a no N3A1 start. Finally some rest. So a bit of good fortune. Try to soft retreat away from the conscripts here. But it looks like the machine gun's in some big trouble.
Ambush camouflage now available.
Conscripts are dropping down, but here we go. Focus the machine gun. Oh, the grenadiers go down. Oh, Catboy biting off a bit more than they can chew there. A bit too deep with the machine gun, then maybe a bit of a late retreat on the grenadiers. 3 conscript squads here, you know, that can sometimes be quite a surprising amount of damage. And all their shots line up. And for a second MG42. I think it's a bit risky at this stage with just the 1 grenadier. But we'll see how it gets on.
The territory is out of contact.
Okay, getting some ambush camo on the grenadiers as well. Nice heavy cover position there for the Fusiliers. Penals have to run away. Doing a good job hiding behind the castle walls here. Allowing the Kubel an opportunity to do damage. Have locked into urban defense, so we might be seeing some of those M42s. Have some shock troops, still not very close to 2 command points though. Now reclaiming the cutoff, but it was, you know, decapped for quite some time. Axis heading for fuel control because of that. Could slow down the 222 timing. Mechanized truck rolling up now. Those in the center could be getting some sandbags down, but looks like they wouldn't have had the opportunity to finish them. Okay, another move coming onto the cutoff, but they get behind the well. Still a few models out of the heavy cover, so the Kubelwagen's going to be left chipping away there. Still this squad is just in range of the penals. They're taking a lot of damage because of that. I think the Kubel could have been chipping away that entire fight as well. I think, you know, by the time you get to this stage, you don't have to really worry about an M3A1 dive on your Kubel. You can start to play a little bit more aggressively with it. And 3 Fusiliers. It's a lot of infantry for Goblin Girl. Another move onto the cutoff. The heavy cover allowing the conscripts to hold on for quite some time before getting suppressed. It is here. Coming out of camo. And here comes some Panzer Grenadiers now. They're about to get bullied by that fresh squad of cons. Okay, going into a Jaeger command squad. It's decent. Still only 2 snaring squads, which could be a little bit troubling against the allied light vehicles. You know, you can get some good stuff going on with like G43s, ambush camo, and your Panzer Grenadiers with this commander, but it is a little bit risky at this stage still. And the light vehicles starting to arrive, and we've got the quad out for finally some rest, as well as a squad of shock troops. Got a group of Goblin Girl waiting for some healing back here. A lot of units requiring healing. Good to try keep them clumped up as well to make use of that AoE healing that got added a while ago. Just a little bit of AoE healing on these medics to help them heal better in these kind of clumped up situations. Do still have to worry sometimes the medics can kind of get stuck and bugged, and then you have to move your units around, but it doesn't look like that is the case there. Sometimes I find myself just, you know, it used to be the default for so long just to spread your units out so they could actually get healed, but now you have to consciously, well, unconsciously in my case, not spread them out. Okay, we've got some Panzer Shreks on one of these. Not always the best answer to the quad, since once they're suppressed, the Shreks are relatively useless against the quad. I chase him down here, but can't get in range. I believe the quad it's got 45 range, right? So with the Panzerstrix only having 35, very hard to get in range on it. If they've got a screening squad that can spot for it. So it's going to be tough for Goblin Girl. And there we go, T70 on the other side. Faust connects though, going to slow that down a little bit. Do have a second combat engineer freshly arriving for Moth though, so these are coming forwards now. And there we go, suppressed. Now the Shrek's trying to crawl out to safety so they can re-engage without having to retreat. It's going quite rough for Goblin Girl at this stage. Well, there we go. Connects with a big 1-2 hit. And a T70 coming in next for finally some rest. Looks like Goblin Girl going to try and get some tech down. Has the fuel for it. And this can buy a bit of breathing room against light vehicle pressure, but might be coming through a little bit late. T70 might interrupt it if he tries to put it, or she tries to put it forwards.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Okay, Pack misses that shot there. We've got some PTRSs for finally some rest. Interesting. There aren't any light vehicles on the Axis side. Oh, and there goes the Kubel. Shock troops combining with that T-70, but it's a bit of a warning shot for Goblin Girl now. Knows that there's a second light vehicle from FinallySomeRest, so can go for an answer and then sweep this. To get a mine down over here though, going to slow down the T-70. Give us some time to build a Raketin. You need more than just one Shrek squad to tackle a double light vehicle attack like this. Oh, and there we go. They're getting shredded by the shock troops. Might have been able to get the kill there. I think one of the Shreks missed, so that's a bit unfortunate. The quad arriving, getting forced away. And now the Raketin's coming through. But this is, you know, a little late. We've got a minute and a half late. Had the manpower for quite some time. Maybe could have helped in this engagement. Maybe could have the Raketin forwards to hit the quad, and then could have maintained some field presence with those Fusiliers. Got a mortar out now. Good news is ambush camo, so if they do pop up the flares to help spot. Not going to see these units back here. Don't see these traps too often. Okay, here come the Fusiliers. Getting a little bit further back. Might have paid to wait until the Raketin was a bit closer to get the most out of this. Oh, gonna run right into that satchel. Luckily, only dropped one model. He's on the edge of the range. There's Raketin now. Connecting once. Close call on that, and does get the penal squad. Nicely done. Getting now out of range, and that's going to be a full retreat from Goblin Girl. But I'd say this mission accomplished. A nice squad wipe. A little bit of damage. Oh, and a conscript dead in the center as well. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers. It's interesting. No bundle grenade even. They still have that available. It's not on cooldown. And this is the benefit of that flank base. Zoning the T-70. Just go for an attack round there as well. Hoping to scatter into it. And it conceivably could have worked as well. T-70 didn't back that far away. G43's on the Grenadiers. T-70 only have 4 kills for Moth. Not that many. FinallySomeRest actually has more veterancy on his, which arrived quite a bit later. Now we've got these Soviet team weapons starting to roll up as well. XSR getting close to their medium timings. Catboy a little bit low on manpower at this stage. Maybe the second Panzer Grenadier. Not ideal. Slowing down the medium tank timing. Should perhaps have reversed the build on that. And it's still, I feel, a little bit risky to only have 2 snaring squads. Double machine gun, double Panzer Grenadiers. Quite easily get you caught out. And Shreks now having to backpedal. We've got the IR STG Obers though. They're not mucking around. Axis, I feel like, have done a pretty good job of limiting VP drain at this stage. Having no light vehicles themselves and fighting against 3 allied lights. I might expect even worse performance than this. And FinallySomeRest going full PTRS mode at this stage. Comboing it up with more shock troops. So these G43 Fusiliers should do very well against those penals now. STG Obers. Maybe they're more intended to help against the shock troops. Open up some flares. Yeah, probably like the LMGs might be better against the PTRS penals, but that's fine. The thing with penals is they tend to be in cover less often than conscripts, so the cover negation is perhaps less impactful. But this is again a team game. It tends to be a lot more craters, so slightly different story to 1v1. Push down onto the fuel point. Engine crit on the Panzer IV. Doesn't have the machine gun upgrading on this yet. Maybe didn't have the munitions for it earlier. Only at 63 now. Around the side of the sandbags here with the Jaeger command squad. Should be able to beat these conscripts. Go for a close range rifle, a cheeky one, but Moth was paying attention. Dodges it very smoothly. And there we go. Full retreat from Goblin Girl once the Raketen got forced off. Ooh! Just go for a satchel and it works into the retreat path. Wow. What a move there from FinallySomeRest. This does get decrewed all the way back there. So he's keeping that squad unupgraded with the G43s at this stage. And a Katyusha first for Moth, that's interesting. It looks like FinallySomeRest may be stalling for the KV2. Oh, what? Whoa, FinallySomeRest went for double tier 3. Oh, I think that was a misclick. Ooh, Penal went down over here. Apologize for missing some action, but I was so confused by the second tier 3. It's been a while since I've done this. I don't think I've done this for over a year now. Probably would have been about 2 years ago. And that is going to slow down the KV2 a long way. KV2 stall. Going to rebuild the Lost Penal squad now.
Penal troops are standing by.
Trying to clear off the sandbags. Get a bunch of mines down. It's a good idea. Into the retreat path. Cheeky one there for FinallySomeRest. T70 coming in from the side, and the Obers are so clumped. Taking some big hits. I think they're going to be alright. Bit scary though. Pairing up Panzer IV has been limited in its effect so far. Only one kill. After a bit of a slow start, constantly taking engine crits. And so it's kind of allowing the allies to get away with what they're up to here. This Katyusha first style, only one anti-tank gun. Goblin Girl, looks like it's going to be a Tiger stall. Here comes the Katyusha close ranger on the Fusiliers. They're going to try crawl out to the left. And that was some good thinking. Avoids getting wiped with that level-headed response from Goblin Girl. I think a panic retreat there would have been a high chance of that Fusilier getting wiped. Second Raketen now. But this is maybe might be a bit of an impact on the Tiger timing with the manpower. About a bit over a minute away in terms of fuel, but be a long way off in terms of manpower with this Raketen being constructed here. Second Katyusha in the build. I think with one Shrek squad, one Raketen should be enough to stall for that Tiger at this stage. Maybe if the Tiger was a bit further off than this, another 2 minutes or so, I could understand it, but it's only going to be 2 minutes away because of the manpower issues caused by the second Raketen. Raketen was quite deep there. Does get away, but it was a touch risky. While getting some great suppression done. P4 chipping away. Here comes the second Katyusha now. I don't see too many mines down here. We do have a sweeper up for Catboy. Comes Katyusha at the back onto the support weapons. In fact, I think that's a double Katyusha. MG on the run. Is this forcing back the Panzer IV meanwhile? But yeah, with the pack getting forced off by the Katyusha, T-70 able to do a lot of damage. Panzer IV comes back in. Gotta be careful. Could take an anti-tank grenade here. Gets away from it at this stage. But yeah, with the double Katyusha from Moth, my thoughts would be trying to go for a Panzer IV dive on that somehow.
We are now authorized to request more powerful units.
And sometime soon, coming down here with the sweeper, making sure there are no mines, and maybe trying to sneak around the edge. At the moment, it doesn't seem like there's much room to come in for an attack from this side, but maybe at the moment it's pretty undefended through the center. Axis don't know that though. They don't. I suppose they could go for like a smoke plane recon sweep to do some scouting. Maybe that could work. But yeah, the time to attack is ideally as early as possible before the ZU-85 arrives. It looks like it's going to be up for repairs for quite some time. We've got a second Pyre in the mix, but... Oh no, it's going to be actually the King Tiger, not the Command Tiger. Okay, so it's... makes a bit more sense, the build order. Of course, can get the Panzer Commander in this Commander. Oh, the T-70 went down. Nice, the pack. 4 kills somehow. He's got 3 infantry kills. Okay. Find that a little hard to believe. Okay, Katyushas. So they want to line up on this. But Moth accidentally too busy microing the Katyushas. Wasn't microing the combat engineers. Loses one of them. They did get some mines down over here. That's why you need those sweepers if you want to go for that Panzer IV dive. And Katyushas end up going for the machine gun again. Gets away again though. And this is where the G43 Grenadiers can start to fall off. Got these 7-man conscripts blasting away from long range. Is this in a good position? And SU-85's up here now as well. Ray Katyusha there. Oh, that was nasty. Such a strong scatter on that Katyusha. I feel like there was not much that Catboy could really do. They were kind of stuck in that little choke point because of this haystack. I feel like either way, trying to soft retreat backwards or hard retreating through this way, it seemed like it was doomed. Whichever option was selected. Do of course have a sprint, so maybe like a sprint backwards might have worked, but hard to think of that in the moment sometimes. And now. We've got the KV2 on the field. It's going to be tough for Catboy. Has ticked up, go for the Panther.
Are securing our territory.
Troops going through the center. If the Axis can take out this T7 and shut down the recon mode action, that would be very helpful. Ooh, there we go. Nice Raketten. Coming through the center, knocks out the T70. That was very well done. Now King Tiger rolling through. He's got the sweeper here, so not going to run over any mines. King Tiger will bully the KV2. KV2's penetration is just not that high. It does have the deflection damage, of course, but I think it's only like maybe 130-ish in terms of pen. Oh wow, look at that damage to the target weak point combining with the planes, the attack round missing, but the King Tiger doesn't. Wow. Good coordination there from the Axis. The target weak point combining with the anti-tank plane, that was very well done. And there we go, the KV2 goes down. Bit of a cumbersome beast. Throw a grenade here. Quite an obvious one though, easy to dodge. Up against like a squad of conscripts like this in heavy cover, once you get in range, it might pay to just pop the sprint to close the distance. And it seems like Moth pretty good at dodging nades so far, just like running up and throwing the grenades might not work. You might want to sprint in, fight for, you know, maybe 6 seconds and then throw the grenade. Hopefully they're more focused on doing something else at the time. In this case, nothing else is really going on across the entire map at that particular moment, so it might not have worked, but something to keep in mind for the future. Okay, here come the Katyushas.
Enemy forces are neutralizing the sector.
And this time a machine gun goes down to them. Axis themselves are going to need some artillery. It's probably going to be up to Goblin Girl. Has got the mechanized, has got enough resources for a walking Stuka now. Okay, Panzer IV coming around the corner. Still a bunch of mines here. This is a bit of a risky maneuver. Okay, able to clear off the sandbags though. Still got the Zis. Can barrage away this machine gun. And we've actually got the Katyusha here as well, so this is not going to work out. Oh, and it goes down as well. Pies are there for the recruit. This is trying to finish it off, but it doesn't look like it's going to get the job done. Gonna go for a Zis barrage, though might be able to, oops, decrew it again. And does. Some good scatter. They're doing its best, but doesn't have the machine gun upgrade here, so its best is not good enough. And the conscripts get the snare off and steal away the machine gun. That's a big win for Moth. King Tiger's doing very well on the far side, though. A lot of territory control. Catboy going into the Werfer now. Now the Moth has double machine guns, AT gun and a mortar. Does make quite a bit of sense. Tiger missing a lot of shots here. Ideally want to be stationary for each of these shots. Because even though the moving accuracy penalty doesn't really matter too much when shooting at infantry, there's a moving scatter penalty as well. And that does matter. But there we go, King Tiger getting some big old hits. T-34 and SU-85 combo forcing back the Panzer IV on the far side. There's a grenade here. The Maxim backing this up. Grenadiers can't hang around for long. As the smoke wears off. KT having to get out of there. Drops some more smoke. Maybe looking to cover the retreat unit. Pretty solid stuff though from the King Tiger so far. 20 kills. Oh. He finds this. Now backing away. Moth has been quite liberal with the munitions used. Whoa! The Werfer dead out the back! The mortar flare spots. The Zis finishes the job. I don't know if that Werfer even fired once. Oh, the Soviet mortar flares, man. Do not underestimate them. They are very useful. And that is a big blow to Catboy. And looks like Goblin Girl going to go for a Panther now. Doesn't maybe make a lot of sense, you know, on his side of the map at the moment. Double AT guns, double PTRS penals. The Panther's not really going to do too much. Maybe if the Panther coordinates, comes over to the far side, and they really try to overwhelm. There'll be some kind of coordinated move it could work, but just straight being used on the right hand side might not get much done. I think they could have hung around for a little bit longer for one more Raketen shot. The PTRS penals are just not that threatening. Could have had one more follow-up shot on the quad perhaps, since it was so slow backing away. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Good work from Goblin Girl. Switching over to the Walking Stuka just before the Panther was about to pop out too. That's a very good choice. Got a big old flank coming through for Goblin Girl as well. Tiger repaired up, rolling through. Double Katyushas onto the machine gun, will be lucky to escape. Okay, here we go. So now it's about trying to bait these Zis into position with the King Tiger. And then hitting them with the Walking Stuka while they're in a compromised position perhaps. And they're making a bit of a move here. Some artillery drop down on the Zis. Coming in for some hits on the Ostheer 5. Zis though very quick to back away here. Got out of harm's way of that light artillery very, very quickly. Here we go. Great Walking Stuka. One Zis dead, the other one close to. Double Raketens pushing up, the Panzer IVs over here as well. King Tiger rolling through. Some good coordination from the Axis. Really overwhelming on this far side. T-34 though, I think going hunting for that Walking Stuka. Trying to find out the back here. We'll find a bunch of Fausting squads. Could go for a big old squish. Bit slow on the Fausts. Both of this end up dying here. This is a great move from the Axis. They're the Fausts now, and the Panther, relatively close, can finish this off easily. So that attempt to kill the Walking Stuka does not work out at all. And that T-34 gets thrown away at a kind of a crucial moment when the Axis are making some big moves on the outside of the map. It's a high-risk maneuver for Moth, and it doesn't pay off. Ober's containing the shock troops quite nicely, actually. Tiger with the spearhead mode running now. Okay, King Tiger backing out. Might have overstayed its welcome a tiny amount. Looks like it'll be fine. Still have one Raketen there. Panzer IV comes in to guard against the conscripts, so pretty smooth exit. Deactivated spearhead to fire a few shots outside of that small cone that spearhead locks you into. Shoots into the scene, gets the decoy on the pack actually. So can't assist against the Superiority 5 here. Before backing off. Ricketten goes down. It's so slow retreating there. Just the classic Ricketten, run forwards, then run backwards. Might have been better off not hitting the retreat there. Go for the classic run backwards. Okay, here we go. Panther diving in, looking for the Su-85 kill. Good pack positioning, able to recrew that. And there we go, gets the job done. The walking Stuka doesn't quite find the mark though on the Zis. But that was a smooth Panther maneuver. Good coordination on that attack. That's exactly what you want. Kind of like a pack blasting away at the Su-85 while the Panther comes in from a different angle. Su-85 with no turret, can't really respond too well against that. Oh, but the walking Stuka died here. It looks like, did the quad kill it? Vehicles destroyed 3. Hard to say because, you know, we'll be shooting down a couple of those smoke planes. Well, I think it might have happened. And the pack got decrewed up here, now stolen by Moth. King Tiger trying to back out. Might take an engine crit here. Should be relatively safe though. Speaking of engine crits, one on the KV2 now. Fusiliers in deep on the Soviet lines. Machine gun again targeted by all the Katyushas. Nice decrew there. Oh, bit of friendly fire. MG does end up getting decrewed again. And the Allies somehow have a triple cap right now. Excuse me.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
Allies are a little bit behind on army size overall, but only like 15, 20-ish. And now we've got the Panther for Goblin Girl. Axis did manage to knock out... Oh, there we go. Quad. I was going to say quite a lot of team weapons on the Soviet side, so the need for the walking Stuka not as high anymore. We knocked out 2 or 3 Zis. No, but maybe they could steal away that. No, don't quite get the decrew. Very good fortune. Panther coming back can do some nice pushing and crushing against the shock troops, kind of getting caught in this choke point. Panther able to fire back. This is a good matchup for the Panther at this stage. Before the KV2 gets its range boost to Vet 2. Okay, King Tiger healthy again. Axis with the off maps loaded up, but the Allies are getting close to the anti-tank overwatch now as well. That could be trouble. Axis have a huge amount of tanks of the Brumbier and the 2nd Panther instead of any rocket artillery, so they are very susceptible to the anti-tank overwatch. Going to be another walking Stuka for Goblin Girl. Doesn't quite have the pop cap for it though. He's in the queue. Would have to lose a squad to have the pop cap for that. Yeah, ideally the King Tiger would be stationary for both those shots. Probably would have got a few kills there if that was the case. Big old movement out to the side. Getting a booby trap over here. Penal's waiting around the corner here, maybe hoping to get a sticky satchel off. I think the crawler's actually spotted them, so it doesn't work out. There's a 4 coming down this side. Ideally, you'd still want to sweep, but there's still a few mines down here. S35 missing though. Panzer IV still healthy. And another deep maneuver here from Goblin Girl. Come around the corner. The kitten's a little bit exposed, but there we go. Find some damage on the KV. King Tiger's rolling up as well. Sweepers are back in base, so this is a little bit scary for Goblin Girl, but it was up here not too long ago, so we didn't have that much time to plant some mines. But here we go, we've got the S35 now for finally some rest. So this is going to be containing these Axis tanks a lot more effectively. And oh boy, the Panther getting slammed. The double this rotate across. Slow reaction from Goblin Girl, and there goes the Panther. In fact, needs to bring down some smoke to perhaps even cover the King Tiger from this attack. Light artillery barrage. The AT guns move out of harm's way. Engineers go down here to the infantry, but big wipe from the KV. Ooh, good hit from the walking Stuka. Bit of grenade action there from... Oh, this King Tiger, I feel like it's slightly overstayed its welcome. Luckily, getting out of there in time. I think the conscripts could have oora'd into anti-tank grenade to snare it, though. That would have been extremely dangerous. Oh, Panther coming in here, looking to mop up some of these very low health vehicles. Or maybe find a piece of rocket artillery or two. But deciding to back out. In 2 mines, luckily no snaring squads nearby, so this works out. Katyusha's in the center. The King Tiger's coming back in with the spearhead mode on. Knocks out a Katyusha. Panzer IV coming in while the Zis don't know what to do. Gets a decoy on one of those. King Tiger still on the attack. Drops the artillery down with the King Tiger. And there we go, knocks out the other Katyusha, but here comes a sticky satchel. The artillery was slightly off target though from the King Tiger, and that goes down to the sticky satchel. Axis, oh, they need to get on that third VP. And fast. They got the dominant map control at this stage, but they should have the triple cap as well. Looks like that P-green's been forgotten about. In fact, they should have secured it with that big blob that was doing that big flank. They should have taken some time to come out to that side to contest that VP before you make this kind of move. So that if something goes wrong like this, at least, you know, you have the dominant map control while your opponent is jammed in their base. Oh, this is big trouble. Panther with an engine crit on the side, stuck against the VP, S285 hammering away. The Bomber in deep here. Doing some good damage, but the Panther just getting completely jammed on that VP. That was a little bit sloppy, allowing that engine crit to come through. And that's a big loss. Oh! So KV is vetted up now. It's got that range boost. Contesting the VP, but the penals are making their way out to the far side, and Panzer IV's got to be careful. Oh, he's driving right in close. Maybe hoping to kill them off before they can cap it. We've got 2 Pyre squads need to be coming up here as well to stop this capture. 50 VPs left for the Allies. The Axis could easily close the show here with some faster action. Does end up taking sticky satchel, but Penal's getting out of there. And I think this is where I'd split 1 Pyre to cap, 1 Pyre to repair. And the Allies are so low on victory points. This is the moment. Stuka maybe hoping to finish off the S285. Got abandoned. Does manage to do so. Rebuild on the Panther for Catboy. Able to recover the Raketin. And looks like it's going to get away from the shock troops as well. Got the IR STG Obers up here now as well. Got to be careful of running in so deep. Maybe could get killed on retreat by a grenade and the shock troops. Grenadiers end up sprinting to close the distance. But yeah, a little bit too slow. I think honestly if the Pyres had capped run over there and capped. The Allies probably would have lost already. And there we go, Su-85s hammering away at the freshly rebuilt Panther. Looks like that's going to go down here. And indeed it does. Goblin Girl maybe could have dropped some smoke here, but that would have required a bit of coordination. Shock troops versus the G43s. Looks like the G43s are going to win it. But on the far side, the KV2 chases away the Obers. The Penals did go down. Looks like to a bundle grenade. Coming out to the far side here with the combat engineers. 9 points. Just, yeah, these little details could have been the difference here for the Axis. These little moments where they could have capped and didn't right at the tail end. And now they're in a little bit more trouble. Still have a pretty good army size lead with the refielding of this Tiger, but Tiger not as good against the King Tiger, against the KV2 as the King Tiger is. And the KV2 has that Vec2 range bonus now. But here we go, getting off to a strong start there. Capping in the center. Looks like the Su-85 coming across. We've got some Shreks that can intercept. It's on focus sight mode as well. It's moving very slow. Tiger's moving in for the kill on the KV2. But the shock troops looking to decrew the Raketin. The Tiger's getting cold feet as well as backing away. STG Obers. Oh, this is trouble. Tiger's going back in again. Oh, but there we go. Penetrating hit from the KV2. KV2 has quite slow reload, so it does end up going down to the Tiger. There's a 4 in here, but bounces the first shot. Smoke drop down there, going for the cap. Infantry forced away from the T-34. There's a 4 circling around, but the Su-85 eventually finds its mark. Tiger's up here as well, though. Getting a few hits in. Su-85. There we go. Finishes the job. Could maybe come up here for a snare. We've got the PTRSs rolling up as well. 6 points. Oh. He retreats. The Tiger trying to back away now. 5 points remaining. Oh, but the Brumbeer doesn't do enough to neutralize the cap in the center. So the clock is stopped at 5, and now the Tiger very isolated. Almost certain to die, and there it goes. Su-85 takes care of it. Oh, and now the Brumbeer is taking an engine crit with a Vet3 Su-85 hammering away. Got a Stug rolling up for Catboy. In fact, he's gone double Stugs. Looking for some immediate impact. The Su-85s are both there. Luckily that Su-85 misses the kill shot. We've got the Stug coming in from the other side, but spotted for by the conscripts. Pretty solid walking Stuka, but doesn't quite decrew the Zis. And the Stug takes an engine crit a little bit sloppy, just leaving it sitting there. Oh, Catboy! Oh, that's another movement again. I'm not paying enough attention to these conscripts. And every time they get an engine crit at this stage, you know, with these Vet2, Vet3 Su-85s, it's just death for these tanks. Especially with Catboy not having a anti-tank gun to help zone them. Okay, T-34 goes down on the far corner, trying to guard the VP. Axis are in the middle now. Brumbeer coming back in, but the Su-85 is still there. Grenades out. Oh! A couple of very low health squads retreating. The Panzergrenadiers don't make it out. The Stug coming back in for the T-34, but misses his first shot and his second shot as well. Oh, that is a horror show. Such bad luck. The Shrek's trying to get something going here, but zoned out by the shock troops. There's a grenades. Oh, late dodge nearly wipes the shockies. The kitten coming in gets one shot off. Gonna lose vision for the second hit. Goes to the attack round and it misses. Oh, no, STG Obers. They're gonna survive. Oh, are they? Shock troops RVET 3. Oh, the penals. Oh, all the PTRS is missed there. Wow. Okay, another Stug. Brumbeer doing some attack rounds. There's 35 finds an angle. T-34 now coming in. The Shreks though. Okay, going for the far corner, but the allies are also on the far corner. It's an all-out capping war. The Axis themselves now getting very low, down to just 30. Got the Walking Stuka ready with another attack. Shrek's going into the center to cap. Stug forced away. The shock troops die. I think they've got enough here to beat these unvetted shocks as long as they dodge the shock troop grenades. Shock troops are going to throw some smoke though, that's interesting. Oh, Fusiliers, I think they had a bit more gas in the tank there to cap with. And there we go, the Stug takes the main gun crit, unfortunate. Oh, there go the conscripts though, big hit from the Brumbeer. Axis is going to get them neutralized. And they're going for the cap in the corner now as well. Looks like the Axis are going to take this one. There's the Walking Stuka. 3 points remaining. They have enough here on the tail end of things to get the job done. Whew, bit of a close finish though. Didn't need to be that tight. You know, the Goblin Girl, if they went over here capped before making that big flank when the Allies were still at 70-ish VPs. Probably could have closed out the game there before the Allies could push back onto the map after that big push. And a similar story over here. Instead of both Pyos that were standing around here, running back here to repair the Panzer IV, one of them came over here to cap. Probably could have closed the game out there as well. But in the end, the Axis, you know, they had enough of a lead to scrape this one out. Some very well-coordinated moves from the Axis arranged team here. Some just good coordination as a team and even individual plays like that move with the Panther against the S-285, the pack coming through here, Panther through here. That was very well done. Some good moves with the King Tiger as well, baiting the anti-tank guns. Overall, yeah, pretty impressive stuff. Pretty solid game. I do think Catboy, yeah, I'm generally a fan of a 2-2-2 in basically every situation. Maybe if you're up against like mass PTRS penals, I wouldn't go for it, but against a conscript start, it's generally a good idea and it gives you a bit more assistance against their light vehicle pressure, which is very common for Soviets. In this case, there were 3 of them. 2-2-2 can give you that bit of extra damage to actually kill light vehicle. Like, you know, maybe your pack gets 2 shots on the T-70 and the 2-2-2 has enough damage to finish it off, depending on how things go, or against the quad, you know, get 1 shot on it with the pack and then the 2-2-2 can finish it or something like that. Just, or, you know, just can help guard your infantry against their light vehicle. They think you've got a pack coming up, so they decide to back off after taking some damage. It's very handy. But yeah, overall, some pretty good moves. Not much to say on that front. The King Tiger stall worked out pretty well. Bit of a shame about that Werfer going down right immediately, but there was some good flare usage from that Soviet mortar by Moth. Got a lot of value out of that in the early game. Early to mid-game, actually. So that was impressive. But yeah, I think Catboy needs to be a bit more cautious about taking engine crits You know, that cost him a lot of tanks this game. And I feel like most of them were avoidable, the ones that led to tank deaths as well. They asked me to talk about how to deal with mass PTRSs. PTRS penals plus light vehicles near the ruins on the east side. I don't think the PTRS penals were that big of an issue this game. Goblin Girl didn't go for a light vehicle, and a King Tiger just blasts through PTRS penals. I know there's a lot of sight blockers, which makes it a little bit scary coming around the corners, but you know, as long as you've got infantry there to do that scouting for you, King Tiger should stay relatively safe. I suppose, like, you know, my feeling these days is PTRS penals are very strong, excuse me, against OKW mechanized strats. Like the looks, I feel like the looks is just complete garbage against PTRS penals, because with the triple PTRS now, they do so much damage to the looks so fast, and the looks, you know, it's got that issue where it does a lot of health damage but tends not to drop models. So, you know, they're constantly damaging your looks, forcing it away, and you're not really inflicting manpower damage in return, and you just end up losing in the long run, giving them a lot of vet as well. So yeah, that's my feelings on that. I feel like overall it's just a fine way to handle it. Felt like it was pretty well handled this game overall. The infantry did a pretty good job. Yeah, I suppose you know, maybe you could plant some mines when you push up here as well around some of these choke points. And AT gun positioning. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say. Maybe if I saw a more concrete example of struggling in this game, I'd have more to say about it. But hard in this particular instance because I felt like it was pretty well done. Well, anyway, guys, wrap on that. If you like your game to be cast by me, details in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you off the next thrilling installment. Goodbye and good luck.